January 23rd. Coffers were gone, finally. All 34 that still lived, and they're dead for they ate their strength and struck southeast. Victory! 10 months of its killing. And all I feel is cold. They deserved every goddamn bit of it. January 17th. Thought I was dreaming, but the screaming was real. For a moment, thought they'd tricked me. Just pretended to believe silent. Then Senator Turtles tracked me down. But the scream was a woman. It's around the corner of the passageway to have a look. One vault, ankle deep in a bear shop. Loved my ears to see, but the way she was crying stopped. How she screamed when she saw me. Been a boogeyman for a long time. Name's Sylvia claims he ran away from them. Calls them evil people, children of the devil. Turns out they were sick after all, something they caught, and all they lived in. She never came down with it yet. She helped me. So helped me, I wound up being her nurse. January 2018. The story matches what I've learned from my interrogations last year. But according to her, let's just say it was bad to be a woman after. So when they left, she slipped away. She knows next to nothing about living outside a vault. Says she wants to learn. September 9th. Never been so scared in my life. Canada wasn't scary, just sickening. The calamity of it. The end of the world wasn't scary. When I knew you and Alex were dead, I didn't have anything left to be scared about. I just went out for some reason. It wasn't scary fighting the altars. It was like I kept hearing his. When I killed him, I think it was the closest I came to him happening in years. Sylvie is pregnant, and I'm terrified. Ridiculous old man, father at age 47. In this world, she's so excited and so trusting. Says it's God's will that this child, like nothing can go wrong. See, Claire? She doesn't know about you, right? Never told her. Almost did sometimes, but what you and I had, it seemed wrong to share. Never more like an old man not wanting his young wife to know how he failed the ones who came before. Hiking into the trench field for medical supplies is done right. I'm sorry, Blair. I hope you can forgive me and forgive me. And March 5th, baby. Streets would have been his son. I did my best to turn it. Failed. Must have done. Just isn't too late. Had to put Sylvia out, and she never woke up. Buried himself with nails. Well, this time I was by their side. So much better. I think I can finally do it too. Throw my fucking brains out all over this goddamn tape. Oh hey, Joshua. How's it going, man? I've been looking.
By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept, when we remembered Zion. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it even to the foundation. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Do you know what it means?
Yeah, don't get the fucking biblical when I'm stoned off my ass. Yeah, you're gonna kill all.
Given those two choices, yes. In the best of all possible worlds, they would just leave us in peace. But they won't. I don't enjoy killing, but when done righteously, it's just a chore, like any other. Practiced hands make for short work, and the good Lord knows there's much to be done here.
Understand it.
Happy are those who do the work of the Lord. Zion belongs to God and the people of God. It is a natural temple and monument to his glory. When our Lord entered the temple and found it polluted by money changers and beasts, did he ask them to leave? Did he cry? Did he simply walk away? No. He drove them out. It is one thing to forgive a slap across my cheek, but an insult to the Lord requires... No. It demands correction. I and the dead horses are prepared to do what must be done to protect Zion from the Whitelegs. And though Daniel won't accept it yet, there are many sorrows who are also prepared. They may not be warriors, but this is their home. If you have a chance to speak with Daniel about this, ask him to consider defending Zion instead of abandoning it. He has good intentions. But I fear that if we evacuate the sorrows from this place, it will be lost to them, and us, forever.
Yeah, since you're here...
Welcome back. Let...
No, that's not enough. Nope. Actually, I think you can break those down. So those...
He's a butcher. Believe me, I know the godless fire that burns in his heart. I've been burned by it myself. He's not the kind to let his subordinates do all the killing. No, he likes to have a hand in it, with that spear of his. He's fashioned himself an abomination before the eyes of the Lord. I'm happy to serve as an instrument of divine justice. It's not something I enjoy, but I pray to God that someone may learn from my mistakes. What would you like to know?
Yeah.
You are kind to offer, but no, there's nothing you can do. We don't use chems, but I learned long ago that I'm immune to their effects. It never stops burning my skin. Every day I have to unwind the bandages and replace them with fresh ones. Exposing my body to the air is like living through it again. But it's better to be clean than comfortable. I was born in Ogden, what people came to call New Canaan. Things were more peaceful when I was growing up. When I was a young man, I went out into the world to do missionary work, as all New Canaanites do. I traveled along the Long 15 and followed 89 south into Arizona. Along the way, I met two men from a group called the Followers of the Apocalypse. Edward Sallow and Bill Calhoun. They came to teach the tribes. Calhoun was a good man. Edward was the one who got us into trouble down the road. No, not then. Back then he was just Edward. Smart man. Young, but we all were. We thought we could hike into the Grand Canyon and talk to Blackfoots. We did. And the Blackfoots were friendly enough at first. But eventually... I've thought back to that day so many times. I must have mistranslated. Something must have been mixed up, because the Blackfoots decided we weren't going to leave. The rest is history, assuming Edward hasn't changed it. This way lies the path to hell. Caesar needed me to translate. Translation became giving orders. Giving orders became leading in battle. Leading in battle became training, punishing, terrorizing. A series of small mistakes before a great fall. And I stayed in that darkness until after Hoover Dam. After I failed Caesar and he had me burned alive, thrown into the Grand Canyon. I survived because the fire inside burned brighter than the fire around me. I fell down into that dark chasm. The flame burned on and on. The next morning, I woke up and crawled out of the northern edge of the Grand Canyon, that cursed place. It took me 3 months to reach New Canaan. It was as though the prodigal son had returned. They welcomed me like I had never left, never done anything to shame them. The fire that had kept me alive was love. Their love. God's love. I will never be able to repay the debt I owe to them, but I must try. I try not to involve myself with matters of the Mojave anymore. All I know is from before the Battle of Hoover Dam. Love the sinner, hate the sin. With Caesar, it's often very difficult to see through all of that sin to the person inside. I can say that we were both lucky that NCR supply lines and land routes north of Mojave Outpost were destroyed before the Battle of Hoover Dam. Something bad happened near Death Valley, at a place called the Divide. NCR couldn't cut across anymore, and it slowed down the reinforcements. Terrible storms ripped entire companies apart before they even got to Nevada soil. The aftermath of Hoover Dam could have been even worse for Caesar. I don't know for certain, and I don't think NCR knows either. Whatever happened at the Divide was too much for them to handle. Our Frumentari told us what they saw. Only fools and madmen would march into a place like that. All roads wind down to the same spot, the grave. They said all that's left there is a gaping wound cut into the earth, cursed and damned. No place for God-fearing folk. Not all of them, but they couldn't take 127 North to get around the mountains. As if Death Valley weren't enough, they had the Divide and Big Empty to deal with. From what the Legion's explorers reported, the Big Empty may as well have been a wall to any living thing approaching it. Better than Caesar, but that's not a high standard. Too much love of money and ownership. Not enough love of God and giving. Any society that derives its power and authority from the will of man alone lives apart from God and will crumble in the end. I had heard of him, but when we were preparing to enter the Mojave, he didn't seem relevant to what was happening. From what I've learned since Hoover Dam, he handled the Mojave tribes in a fashion not entirely dissimilar from Caesar. It's too bad.
I like a moo. Yes. Alright.
I am always a little sad to leave the Narrows. I'm happy to return.
Yeah. Let's back to this thing. Yeah. And what? More? Oh.
Let's move on. I don't like to linger in this place.
Oh. Are you going right? What? Not. Why are you not that dead? I think it's get rid. Get a little extra armor. Oh. 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 Axe. There. Died. Gonna okay. Why not?
Nothing after all. Oh, Father, guide and protect us, your humble children, as we labor in the vineyards, and make us strong to resist those who would steal Zion from us.
Ah. I might as well see.
Katubiu. I do. A fine husband and 3 children. I miss them each day, but I take comfort in knowing they are safe. When we learned that Salt Upon Wounds had defiled Zion with his presence, Daniel ordered the children, the old, and the sick evacuated from the camp. My husband volunteered to lead the hunters that went with them for protection. I try not to worry about them, but we have had no news for so long, and Daniel seems sad when I ask him about it. Sad and a little frightened. Perhaps he will. I sometimes feel he thinks he must protect me. If he has news, I would know of it.
Holy god, they're fucking huge. Alright. Speech. Oh! No! Not.
White-leg attacks grow more frequent each day. I fear for our people, and for our valley if something is not done.
Ah, crap. I'm guessing. Points. With that? Just again.
So, this is the ghost of She's lair. I was never brave enough to try to find it. I feel
Ooh! I think I just run. I'm gonna just.
Katubiu.
Is she not? No? Alright. Actually, let's just faster.
Does Ghost of She like quiet and grave?
Yes.
Then visions of truth
Oh.
at an end. Will you learn from truth? Maybe yes, maybe no. Only for you to decide. Here, take. Gift to remind you of visions. Use well, or sell to curious trader. Either way, says much about you.